I'm Emma O'Brien, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about why you are struggling to book clients in your photography business. The number one complaint I hear from photographers in my creative community is, I don't know how to book clients, I don't have any clients. And I kind of look at it and sort of question, why is it that some photographers thrive with a fully booked schedule of clients regardless of COVID? Hello, because there are people who are out there who are fully booked, and some equally as talented photographers are quite simply just struggling. So in my opinion, I've been doing this for a long time, the secret to a successful photography business is to understand who your client is, brand your business with that client in mind, share messaging that speaks to that particular client, make sure you have a clear marketing strategy for your work and for the clients that you want to attract, and being proactive and being consistent. So I'll bet my bottom dollar that most of the photographers that aren't booking clients are not doing all of these things. And obviously, as a business coach for creatives, this is sort of my area of expertise, and these are the things that I help my clients with. So in this video, I'm just going to talk you through a few pointers to be bearing in mind, and a few things you can be doing in your photography business to really kind of transform, taking it from not enough clients and struggling to book clients into a more consistent business vehicle for you. So the first thing to talk about here and to say is that everybody is not your ideal client. And I think that is a big mistake that people make, thinking you've got to try and please everybody and you've got to share work that appeals to everybody. It's impossible to please everybody. So what you actually need to be looking at with your photography is, who are you here to work with and for? Who's your work for? And what sort of work do you love making? Obviously, you need to just make sure, if it's something a little bit obscure, that there is actually a market out there for that, so you can go and do your research on that. But if there is somebody else already doing what it is you want to be doing, and they have clients and they're successful, you can also do it too. So it's important just to bear that in mind. If it's possible for someone else, it's possible for you. So if you already have a client base and you've been established for a little while, but you're still kind of, the bookings are kind of hit and miss, you can have a look at who your best clients are and see what they've got in common, and make a bit of a list, so you start to get this kind of client avatar together. And that's what we want when we're talking about who do we speak to and how do we speak to them. We need to know who it is that we're pitching our business to all the time. Your business branding should appeal to your ideal client. So if you're aiming to work with higher end clients and charge a higher shoot fee than the average photographer, a homemade Wix site that you threw together in 2017 isn't going to be enough, because that is not going to do it for a client who is not looking to buy based on price, but a client who's looking to buy based on the quality of your work, based on what they think about you, based on perhaps your reputation that you might have going on. They might have had a recommendation. So you need to invest in creating a visual brand that reflects your pricing and offering and appeals to the person you want to be working with. You want to be speaking to your client with messaging that appeals to them, and this means using language that resonates with them and sharing images that they can relate to. And I think this speaks to the point, which is super important, is that we want to be sharing the work and putting work out into the world that you want to be making more of. That's what you want to be showing people. It's pointless sitting and let's say you're an event photographer and actually you want to transition into newborn photography, but you're still sharing the event photography, because those are the clients you're still going to be getting in. If you don't want to be shooting event photography, get rid of it everywhere and focus on sharing the kind of photography that you do want to be making more of. That can take a little bit of courage to do that, especially if you're kind of quite established in one thing and you're looking to branch out into something else. But that's what you've got to do. And if you're, going back to digress a little bit there, going back into talking about in language that appeals to your clients. If you're a newborn photographer, you're going to talk on your website, on your Instagram captions, in your blogs, on your marketing material in probably a much softer, calmer, gentler way than someone who's a high-end, kind of edgy fashion photographer. Because there's nothing soft or gentle or calm about that, because you're talking to two entirely different clients. So you've kind of got to be really aware of that and be very conscious of how your messaging around your work comes out, and kind of how clients will interpret that. Another thing here is often I'll get clients, photographers asking me, I was doing really well at this price point, and then I put my prices up and all my clients have gone away. And what you've got to remember is that if you are shifting your market positioning by putting your pricing up, you are not going to be appealing to the same client anymore. So you can't really keep using the same visuals and messaging that were popular with clients at a lower price point who were quite possibly shopping on price, like predominantly. As soon as you start going up into a slightly higher market and a higher pricing bracket, you've got to up your game. So that's when you're going to be kind of just shifting with your branding and just really kind of reworking your business almost a little bit. So you've got to have a real understanding of these things. This is why stuff kind of goes wrong a little bit, because these things aren't being kind of kept in mind. Once you've got an understanding of who your client is, the sort of work you want to be creating, you've got to get your work out there. We've got to be marketing our work. And marketing is only effective when it is consistent and it is strategic. And you have got a real plan for consistently sharing and networking your creativity. A Facebook page that you post to once in a blue moon isn't enough. A website that's out of date isn't going to do it. Just working from an Instagram page isn't going to do it unless you've got a ginormous audience. I'll see photographers who'll say, my Instagram and Facebook just aren't working for me. And I'll say, well, how many followers do you have on there? And they'll say, well, I've got 200 people on Instagram and 100 people on Facebook. Well, even if you do a boosted post to all of those people, it isn't going to work. You've got to audience build. And marketing is a long game. It's about audience building. It's about consistently sharing your work and kind of creating a fan base for your work. So it isn't something that you can kind of wake up one day, get it right, and it happens overnight. It never does. It's, that's why the strategy is so, so important. So booking quality clients comes as a result of being consistent with your marketing, as well as being persistent with your marketing efforts. And I have had experience in my own business of, you can be sharing and marketing and creating and putting stuff out and nothing's happening, and you kind of look at it and go, okay, this isn't working. And you actually just have to push past that point of thinking it's not working, and all of a sudden the sort of client floodgates will open. The one things that have worked in my photography business is consistently adding new content to my website. I try and put a new blog up at least once a week, and every time I put a new blog up, I will have client inquiries coming in. I'm also cross-purposing the same content that goes onto the blog, onto my Instagram and my Facebook pages. I network with other people who share the same clients as me. I have got there's quite a lot of marketing going on behind the scenes quite consistently for me to keep generating consistent clients coming through the door. We could talk about this in a lot more detail, and obviously this is a bit of a skirt over the whole thing, but there's a lot of work you can be doing to really successfully market your business. So let me know if there's something in particular that you're working on. Pop me a message in the comments, or you're very welcome to send me an email. It's great to have feedback and see what's happening with people, what's working, what's not working. And it also helps me to be able to prep more valuable content on here. So do get in touch if I can be of any assistance. And if you would like to join the Facebook community, it's the Business of Creativity for Photographers. You can search it on Facebook and I can add you in. I do weekly free trainings in there, and I'm often working on this kind of thing with the people in the group of answering questions, and really supporting people to build successful businesses. I will see you soon.